Today on the YY family, I'm gonna find out how water turns into steam and dew. And my dad is gonna save the day by showing me how batteries work. And Mom will teach me about plants and how their seeds grow up to be new plants. My Uncle Micro shows me how my nails and hair protect me. Then Grandpa Matic takes Zygo and me way out in space to see a big red star being pulled into a black hole. It's gonna be the coolest of cool, so don't go anywhere.
Hey, what's going on? What?
Come along with me and meet the smartest family in all the town. The YY family. Mom can make it plain to see that what goes up eventually comes down. The YY family. Come and meet the YY family. We got a lot of real know-how. Grandpa knows a lot about farming. Ask him and I'll show you now. Why do airplanes fly?
When I land, I'll tell you why.
Meanwhile, there's a dragon making some kind of a potion in a vat. The YY family. And Grandma's no stranger. She can teach you all the dangers found in that. The YY family. Max is a mechanical marvel. Why? I know copy kind of guy. Maybe he can show you the answer now. If you want to take a look inside. Everybody's in a lather.
Rushing, wondering what's the matter.
Every person here's a cry.
Rushes to the baby side.
What's the deal? What could it be?
Just on the YY family.
Have you ever wondered why the salty ocean's lightning thunder? What the earth is like down under? Why there's wind and snow and rain? Let Eartha and Basalt explain.
Morning, Victor. Morning, Grandma. Mwah. Could I interest you in some breakfast? Yes, please. Grandma, where did the steam come from? Well, it's quite simple. You see, every substance, including water, is made up of billions of tiny bits called molecules that are constantly moving around. When we heat the water, the molecules move faster. That water's sure moving, all right. As the water boils, the molecules move so much that they separate from each other and move farther apart. When molecules move around freely enough, you have a gas or vapor. In this case, steam. Hey, look! There's less water in the pot. Right. The water molecules are now scattered around the room as steam. When a liquid changes to a gas, that's called evaporation. No, I was afraid of this. Don't! Grandma, there's water all over your glasses, but they didn't fall in the pot. That's because my glasses are colder than the steam. So when the steam came in contact with them, that caused the water molecules to slow down. So the steam turned back into water? Right. Now, let's go see how water changes with the weather.
Let's begin with your basic, ordinary water.
I think this is more like mud.
So it is. Be right back.
Grandma, how come the grass is all wet? I bet you can figure it out. During the day, the sun heats the earth and water evaporates from the oceans, rivers, and lakes.
Hey, guys, what do you say we check out the upper atmosphere, huh?
I thought plants and animals need the water. Oh, they get it. After sunset, the air cools down. So, the steam condenses into water and falls on the plants. I knew you'd get it. Now, in winter, it's too cold to form dew. The frozen droplets fall and cover the plants just like the dew does. But this is called frost. Those clouds kind of look like the steam from your pot, Grandma. Yes, dear, they're very similar. The air is cold up there, so the water vapor condenses into clouds of drops. Sooner or later, those drops will fall as rain. The mist on the lake is also made of condensed water droplets. I think they're evaporating, Grandma. The mist is clearing. Sure. It's warming up. And the dew is evaporating, too.
Ooh, let's go to the island.
Wow, there's that rain you were talking about. Well, I just wanted to explain water, not wear it. How come you never showed me this trick before, Grandma? Well, dear, I was saving it for a rainy day.
How does it do this? How does it do that? Max is the one with the electronic knack. Machines are his thing, so don't go berserk. Max on the job. You'll find out how they work.
Good afternoon and welcome to the remote-controlled car race.
Oh, I just know Victor's gonna win.
Of course he is. He can't lose. Not with the terrific motor I put in his car.
All contestants to the starting line. The race begins in 10 minutes.
Zygo! Zygo, my car isn't working!
Oh, for crying out loud! The battery's dead!
Quick, we need a new one.
Dad, how do batteries work?
Batteries make electricity.
So, how do the batteries make electricity?
Well, this battery works with two different chemicals, cadmium and nickel. They're placed in a liquid called potassium hydroxide, which separates them. When the battery is working, a chemical reaction takes place between the cadmium and the nickel, setting off electrons into the circuit. And that's what makes electricity. Let's check it out from the inside.
Whoa! It's crowded in here!
We're inside the battery. This is the nickel, and here's cadmium.
But Dad, they're all asleep. How do they make the electricity?
We'll see when we connect the battery. The battery is connected by a wire to the other parts, the switch, the antenna, and the motor. To start the battery, we must complete the circuit. That starts the chemical reaction and releases the cadmium electrons.
What's an electron?
Electricity!
What are you gonna do now?
Well, I'm gonna go play with my friend Nickel, who lives next door. Hey, Cadmium, what's taking you so long? Oops, I forgot. I can't get in this way. I gotta take the long way around.
See, Victor? That's how electricity circulates. When the electrons move around the circuit, they power your car. The electrons move all through the motor, and the motor makes the wheels turn. Then the electrons return to the battery.
Here I am! It's about time!
Now the cadmium electron's arrival will change the nickel. As it loses its electrons, cadmium also changes. After a while, all the electrons complete a tour of the circuit.
And that's why the battery goes dead.
Right, and then you've got to replace it.
We've got batteries. Oh, lots of them.
On your mark, get set, go! And they're off!
Go!
Faster, Victor, faster! You can do it! Victor! 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 Victor!
They're running neck and neck. It's gonna be close.
We won!
We won! That was terrific! That was nice! That was wonderful!
Hey, the questions that you have are not too serious. The animals and plants are not so mysterious, so have no fear. Everything will be made clear. Vanilla, Quake, and Quack are here.
Now let's see. If I give the little one extra water, it'll catch up to the big one in no time.
Too much water will drown your plant, Victor. A baby plant only needs a little bit of water.
Mom, where do baby plants come from?
I'll show you. New plants come from flowers.
Flowers?
Every flower contains stamens and pistils, the parts of the plant that enable it to reproduce. Each stamen has little bags full of powdery granules called pollen.
And what's this?
That's the pistil. New plants begin when a flower's pollen reaches the pistil of another flower. That's called pollination.
Oh, but how does the pollen get to another flower?
It's carried from flower to flower by insects or the wind. Look, Victor, This bee is about to pollinate a flower. The bee is attracted by the color and smell of the flower. It gathers nectar from the flower, which it uses to make honey. The pollen sticks to the bee's legs and is carried to other flowers when the bee collects their nectar. Now, there are some plants like wheat, barley, corn, and rice that have tiny flowers and no smell, so they can't attract any insects.
Hey! We're down here! Yoo-hoo! Oh, fine. If we don't pollinate, then when that butterfly wants a bagel or some whole wheat toast, he's gonna be out of luck.
So they depend on the wind to carry pollen to them.
I think Quack just pollinated some flowers.
You may be right. You see, some animals also help to spread pollen. There's a tropical plant called a bird of paradise, which attracts bats. Like insects, bats carry the flower's pollen from flower to flower. A few species of birds also pollinate flowers. Hummingbirds, like bees, go from flower to flower gathering nectar.
Tell me, Mom, what happens when the pollen is taken from one flower to another?
Look at this little pouch underneath the flower. When an insect lands on a flower, pollen falls onto the pistil, then fertilizes the little pouch under the flower, where it begins to form a new plant. Then the flower withers away, and the pouch grows and changes into fruit.
Like we eat?
Some of it. Anytime these pouches grow, that's called fruit. When they grow on a peach or a strawberry plant, for example, then we have fruit we can eat. Inside the fruit are the seeds of new plants. That's the baby cherry tree.
There are seeds in all fruit.
And when animals eat the fruit, they scatter the seeds.
How does a seed become a new plant?
The seed contains food for the new plant. And when there's enough water and warmth, the plant begins to feed and grow. The roots sink deep into the ground to feed the new plant. The stem becomes longer and will soon grow out into the light.
Wow! Is that a new cherry tree, Mom?
Well, it's not really a tree yet.
That's because it needs some water to help it grow.
Not too much. We don't want to drown it.
Very good, Victor. What are you doing?
Oh, I want to grow too.
You have seen nothing like this. With these two guys you can't miss. You wonder what's inside you. These are just the guys to guide you. Come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go. These guys are in the know. Micro and Scopo.
It is a very practical summer haircut.
Why do we have hair?
It's simple. I'll show you.
Hair protects us from the cold in winter. And from the sun in summer, because the skin on our heads is very delicate. In fact, all that's left of our Stone Age ancestors' fur is a little over 3 million hairs all over our bodies. You see, Victor, the hair on our bodies is made of the same substance as our fingernails, a hard and resistant substance called keratin. And our hair and nails are all here to protect us.
There's too much dust. My eyes are hurting.
Perfect timing. When dust flies, these little straight hairs on the edge of the eyelid keep the dust from getting into our eyes.
It looks like Uncle Scopo's eyebrows are protecting his eyes by keeping the sweat out of them.
Right, Victor?
What about nails?
Well, the skin on the tips of our fingers and toes is very sensitive.
Oh? Why?
Well, because it covers many nerve cells.
Then that's why we need nails to protect it.
Hairs grow in the skin's cavities, and they are all made by cells full of keratin, which are found right under the skin's outer layer.
Wow! Hair really does grow fast. Uncle Micro, how come our hair is not the same color?
Well, you know, Victor, hair contains coloring substances called pigments, and they make our hair one color or another.
But when we grow old, the little cells which produce these pigments grow tired and stop making them. And then our hair turns gray or white. When we cut our hair or our nails, we don't feel anything.
Why not?
Well, because they are parts of our body which don't have any nerves. Blood doesn't circulate inside them.
Hey, what's going on? What?
Maybe you had a nightmare.
Oh, well, you scared me to death, Micro.
Look, Uncle Micro. The hairs on Scopo's arms are standing on end.
Yes, Victor. When we're scared or cold, some special muscles contract under the skin and our hair stands on end.
Say, that gives me an idea.
What on earth?
Just like our caveman ancestors.
Who has all the answers about the sun and moon and stars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Who can tell us all about the atmosphere and Mars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Pick a spot in outer space, they've been all around the place. Zygo and Magic, here they come.
Are we there yet?
Almost. In fact, I think I see what we're looking for now. Oh, yes, that meteorite looks very promising. Go on, Zygo. Bring us back a nice big sample.
Some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. Oh, not this family. No, we collect meteor samples.
Grandpa, look!
Hey! Oh, this is not good.
No! Zygo!
I hope this works.
Yay! He made it! Good fella!
Oh, that's just perfect. First you leave me out in a meteor shower, and now there's an engine malfunction.
Well, could be worse.
How?
It could be raining.
Now what? A red giant!
Cool! What's a red giant?
It's a star that's run out of fuel.
Ooh, let's go see.
According to the computer, this one has enough mass to collapse into a black hole.
What's a black hole?
You'll see soon enough. We've got to hurry. Nobody's actually seen a black hole before. There! It should run like new. This must be important.
Looks like we got here just in time. Our red giant is about to blow up.
Blow up! Sensors, tape, windshield wipers. Here it is. Shields!
Now, Victor, the red giant's outer layers have been blown off. All that's left is the core of the star.
Yep. In space, heavier objects pull on lighter ones. That's gravity. It's why we don't fall off the Earth.
Very good. Well, this star was so large that its own gravity is pulling all of its matter toward its center.
It's collapsing, getting smaller.
It disappeared.
No, it's still there, but its gravitational pull is so powerful that even light can't get away from it.
Uh-oh, the engine stopped.
We're being pulled into the black hole.
I should have known that red bolt was trouble. Well, guys, it was nice working with you.
Hey, why don't we try Grandpa and Maddox's time lever?
Of course! We'll go back before it collapsed into a black hole.
Boy, we sure are lucky this is a cartoon.
Now, what were you saying about a red bolt, Zygo?
Oh, nothing. The backup systems failed. Your whole ship needs a complete overhaul.
Hey guys, have you seen a red bolt anywhere? There's one missing from the washing machine.
Backup systems,
Well, Victor, what'd you learn today?
Oh, tons of neat stuff. I learned that during the day, the sun heats up the earth and water evaporates from lakes, rivers, and oceans.
Go!
While I was racing my car, I learned that batteries make electricity by using cadmium and nickel. Mom showed me that when an insect lands on a plant, some pollen he carries on his body can fall into the flower and start the whole reproduction process. I learned that our hair and our nails are made up of the same substance, keratin. And I also learned that there are giant red stars that can sometimes collapse and go into a big black hole. We're being pulled into the black hole!
Sounds like a pretty big day.
It was, but I still have plenty of questions left for next time.